Hi there. China is booming. Tencent reported the results for the first quarter Q1 2025 and they were quite amazing. And as you can see, the stock price keeps going up. Year to date up 24%. And if you look at the revenue, you can see that total revenue has increased by 13%. What does it mean this? This means that their high growth has come back. And if they continue to deliver those high growth rates over 10% quarter by quarter, guess what will happen to the stock price? It will go back to 500. It's already 500. And it will grow even more. By the way, if you remember my past video about Tencent, just go on my channel, write Tencent, and you see here, this video. In fact, I had more videos. Tencent, I have a question. Watch this video, and you see the title. Tencent stock can more than double your money. Back then, here, you can see that Tencent, back then when I made the video, was about $29 per share. Now, if you check the current stock price for US dollar, $67 per share, you see here, right? So you had more than double your money from $29, close $30 to $67 per share. So my prediction, can read here the title, why Tencent stock is so cheap. Tencent stock can more than double your money. So my prediction has come true. You more than doubled your money if you listened to me 2 years ago. Of course, my voice was a bad one back then, but now you see the results. You see the results. The stock price has declined by 69%, and more recently, is back. Is back. Back to close to $70 per share. So you see my predictions. You see my prediction. Now, not many people can take advantage of this because they don't have access to my portfolio. But if you want to get access, you can easily join my membership. There is no problem. You can take advantage of those massive opportunities. But now, let's continue the analysis with Tencent. Because what matters is the future. If you can make money in the future. This is the past. Yes, some people made money with Tencent. If they bought when I said, if they follow my prediction, and they are part of my membership, where they have access to my portfolio, they've made a lot of money. Now, let's see what's next. What's next? So, we look at the total revenue. And by the way, this company is a great one. They will continue to make more money in the future for sure. The only problem you have to be aware is when you buy and when you sell. So, you look at the revenue, up 13%. And you look at their segments, sub-segments, value-added services. See the growth rate for all of their sub-segments. Marketing services, again, up 20%, and fintech and business services. And if you want to predict the future of this company, you have to look segment by segment for each business. Then, another important metric for this company, Tencent, is the number of users. Because without them, they can't make money from social networks, games, marketing services, and fintech and business services. So this is quite important. If you see, especially this number, monthly active user for Weixin and WeChat. If you see this number around this level, 1.4 billion, and they maintain it, then Tencent for sure will continue to make more money in the future. So as you can see, year over year up 3%. QQ is an older application. Now the new one is WeChat or Weixin for China. So don't worry about this decline of 3%. They can get rid of this and still they can make a lot of money. So don't worry about this. And then you can see fee-based value-added services, paying users. Because they have some services, for instance, video on demand, games, newspaper, And those are paying users. And as you can see, they have increased by 3%. And this is quite good. Imagine these paying users like YouTube Premium. You have more users, but a percentage of that is paying for YouTube Premium. Same for here. But here the difference is they pay for more services. You have some users for video, some users for games, and so on. So this is quite good. They are diversified. Now, here you can see the revenue breakdown. And this is important to understand because you understand better the composition of the revenue. Social network, which represents 18% of the revenue. Domestic games, 24%, and it's quite high. And international games, 9%. So, the first segment, main segment, value-added services, represents more than half of the revenue. And the other half is from marketing services, here 18%, and fintech and business services. Here, fintech and business services, they also include the cloud services. And here you see their growth rate from 2022 to 2025. And you see this trend, up trend. It went up a lot. But here, let me show you something important. Here you see better the growth rate over the last 5 years. In 2020, growth rate over 20% in the revenue. You see here revenue, 28%. Gross profits, 42%. Operating profits, 43%. See here. Then 2021, 2022, when they faced that recession, the entire country, the entire China, down. Then 2023, up. 10%, 23%, 44%. 24, they continue this growth rate, nice growth rate. And more recently, Q1 2025, they have improved the growth rate in the revenue, also gross profits, and their operating profits have continued to go up. And this is important, quite important, because as I said, if they continue to deliver this high growth rate, over 10%, over the next quarters, the stock price will continue to grow more in the future from this level. Now, don't expect the stock price to skyrocket, as it happened in the past when I made that video and I said you can have a double. But from this level, you can have a nice return, a decent return. If you are willing to wait for a longer period. If you want better investment ideas, then you can join my membership. See my portfolio. Again, those low risk, high reward opportunities. So, to continue with the analysis of Tencent, you also have to look segment by segment, as I said, to understand it. Because why is this important? When you value a company like Tencent, and it's a big one, a large one, you understand the entire China, the entire economy of China. Because you see the growth rate, where was the highest growth rate in these segments, and then it's easier for you to see where the growth has come back. For instance, let's take value-added services. As I said, social networks, domestic games, international games. And here you see social networks. Yes, up 7% revenue, but a high growth rate comes from music subscription, 17%. And then you look at games. Domestic games have improved quite a lot, 24%, and so for international. Imagine if those games continue this high growth rate, that will mean a lot in the future, because those have high profit margins. And you see, domestic games here, domestic games and international games, presents more than half of the value-added services. And it's quite a lot. Be aware of this. Then marketing services. Yes, you see revenue year-over-year up 20%. This is good. This is quite good. And then you have to look deeper. For instance, for video accounts, the revenue, service revenue, grew by over 60%. And this is quite amazing. And you have to ask why. Why the revenue has increased by 60%. And it says here, advertisers utilize their marketing tools to boost content exposure, promote live streams, and drive sales conversion. This means that e-commerce businesses are booming in China. And this is an insight that you can apply to other companies. For instance, JD, PDD, and Alibaba. This is an insight. You can use it. Then you can also see here, Weixin search. Revenue grew rapidly year over year, benefiting from increases in commercial query volume. So commercial query volume, this means also e-commerce. People are searching for products to buy. So this is important. An insight that you can find on newspapers or TV. You can find only by reading annual reports, listen to companies, what they say, and also from this video, from my video. Then, FinTech. Here you can see that total commercial payment volume declined slightly, a little decline. But the revenue for the cloud business or business services have returned to teens. As you can see here, driven by cloud services and fees collected on e-commerce transactions. This means that also the cloud industries, the growth of the cloud industry has come back. Another insight that you can use. Then you can also see their capex, capital expenditures, free cash flow, and cash position. Now Tencent is quite a great company because as you can see they have total cash 476 billion renminbi and a total debt close to that number 385 billion renminbi. They know how to use this capital, take advantage of debt and also of that cash. So net cash 90 billion renminbi. Now you see here capex an increase over 50% year over year from 15 billion renminbi to 23 because they are investing in AI. They want to take advantage because if they don't invest in AI, and if you look at their businesses, all their businesses here, they can lose their moat. So they have no choice but to invest in AI. Even if the cloud computing business represents a small part of the total revenue, but they need AI for digital content, to improve their algorithms, and also for games, and of course other products they offer, and of course fintech. They need to invest in AI. They have no choice. They have to maintain their leading position. Even if you have lower free cash flow compared to last year, you can see here, if you look at free cash flow, a decline of 9%. Even if you have this low free cash flow, in the long term, their return will come to shareholders. So this is quite important to understand. Of course, next years, if the competition intensifies, you might see free cash flow be lower than 47 billion renminbi. But don't be scared. Analyze the company, look what they do, look at their main businesses, see their advantages, and then you can take advantage. Because Tencent might have another dip like this. And you can buy again, sell when the stock price goes up, buy again, you double your money again, and over the long term, you'll become quite wealthy. So that's it for this video. And by the way, if you want better investment ideas than Tencent right now, because as you can see, Tencent will deliver you a decent return. But if you want more, you can join my membership. Go to my profile, press join, and here you have my portfolio from Titan Investor and also an ongoing investing course. By having access to my portfolio, you can see every transaction I make. Low risk, high reward, and you can more than double your money. And of course, if you want more, you can also have the exclusive level, 1 hour coaching call with me. And by the way, if you buy this level, you also have access to the previous levels, all levels. So this is a great value for you. If you want to double your money, then join my membership. And if you have other questions, please let me know in the comments.